Hello everyone, and welcome to ArtDroid29 Productions. My name is Tom, and I'll be your narrator today. This is part 3 of What If Deku Was Blue Beetle. With introductions out of the way, let's continue the story. Months had passed since we last saw Midoriya declare that he would train to become the hero Ted saw he could be. Now it was the day of the entrance exam. In his room, the boy lay under his covers, only his unkempt hair being visible. He would soon be awakened from his slumber once his alarm started to go off.
It is time to wake up. Are you ready, Izuku?
What time is it?
It is exactly 4:57 ante meridian.
Kaji, why are you waking me up so early?
You fell asleep at exactly 8:57 post-meridian. The human body needs 8 hours of sleep to be able to fully function. You have had exactly 8 hours of sleep. I recommend you get out of bed immediately to avoid falling back asleep.
Okay. I'll get up. Also, just say AM and PM. You don't need to be all technical.
Very well. I will remember for future conversations.
After lifting the blanket, it was clear that this wasn't the same Midoriya from before. He was more muscular, well-built, and, by the way he was carrying himself, it looked like he was more confident. The only parts of his appearance that had remained the same was his hair, face, and the scarab that was embedded into his back. I'm still tired, by the way.
No, you are not. You are simply in a bad mood from being awakened. Once you are out of bed and have eaten, your mood will improve. I recommend a well-balanced breakfast. Might I suggest?
Okay, I get it. You're looking out for my well-being. As Midoriya began getting dressed, he continued talking to his alien companion. So, do you think we stand a chance? At getting into UA?
Taking into account that you have told me to remain silent during the written portion of the exam, whilst allowing me to tutor you outside of training, I am estimating that you will just barely pass.
Gee, thanks. What about the physical exam? Do you think I can handle whatever they throw at us?
I am 98% certain that we can handle any possible obstacles UA sends towards us. However, because you insist on doing this without my assistance, I predict a 75% chance of passing.
You must be fun at parties, huh, Kaji? Well then, let's get ready. And so, after getting dressed, eating his breakfast, and getting in one last studying session a few hours beforehand, Midoriya and Kaji made their way to the entrance exam. The boy stood in front of UA's building, looking up at what could potentially be his future school. This is it, Kaji! We've made it!
Your heart rate is increasing. You are nervous, yet excited. You may want to calm down, otherwise your performance might be affected.
I've been dreaming of coming to this school for years. Just being able to stand on the campus grounds is enough to make me smile. Come on, let's go show them what we can do. Midoriya charged into UA, conjuring as much confidence as he physically could before entering the exam hall to take the written portion of the exam. Thankfully, he was able to do this just fine, even with Kaji respecting his host's wish to not be assisted by the scarab due to him believing it would technically be cheating. Then, there was the practical portion of the exam. Unlike the other applicants, those who were recommended for UA were taken to a separate area in order to perform a different test. On the way to the exam site, the quirkless teen was thinking of all sorts of different scenarios for what it could be. Was it a free-for-all fight? A competition to see who could punch hardest? Nope. Instead, it was simply a 3-kilometer-long obstacle course.
It seems we have over-prepared. Not to worry. You have gotten more than used to flying on your own. All you will need to do is fly over the obstacle course.
As the other applicants prepared for the signal that would let them know when to start, Midoriya stretched out his arms and summoned the armor without a struggle. The mere sight wowing most of the other applicants. The moment they were all given the signal, Midoriya flew straight past all of the other applicants. not having to deal with any of the obstacles that were laid out and reaching the finish line in less than a minute, beating all of the other applicants. Many were impressed by his performance, except for one person, or in this case, Scarab.
You purposely slowed yourself down.
Sorry, I didn't want to make everyone else look bad. I guess I kind of failed at that. Next was the final stage of the recommendation exams, the interview. Each applicant would be interviewed by a hero who worked at the school. The interview process was very easy. It was just some personal questions and a few about why he wanted to join UA. After the process was finished, Midoriya was confident that he would get into the school's hero program. Thankfully, that confidence was well placed when he received a letter 2 weeks later, stating that he was accepted into the hero program. Yes! We did it, Kashi! We did it! Woohoo!
As much as I would hate to disappoint you, there are still a few problems at hand.
Huh? What do you mean?
You have most likely put a target on your back. Despite holding back, you managed to surpass the competition composed of other UA recommendees. Those who have gotten in may see you as a threat. On top of that, you have Katsuki Bakugo.
What about Kachan?
I have predicted that there is approximately a 98.9999999% chance that he too has been accepted. With the history between you two, combined with your results, his inferiority complex may increase significantly. I advise caution when approaching him in the future.
Are you scared, Kaji?
Negative. It would take strength that he may only dream of having in order to damage your armor. However, you as a normal human are still vulnerable. If I were to somehow malfunction or be caught off guard, he could cause serious damage to your body. Although his threats of murder are simply tantrums, I fear if pushed far enough, he would attempt to perform such an action. Remember, your safety is my #1 priority, meaning I will do whatever I must to ensure your survival, no matter the cost.
Don't worry, Kaji. As long as we have each other, nothing can stop us. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit warehouse, a man wearing a lab coat and goggles was looking through a large number of crates, all of which bore the Cord Industries logo.
No, damn it! Not a single one of these contains what we are looking for!
Suddenly, another voice could be heard from the other side of the room, one that exhibited power, authority, and sinister intent. And what exactly would that be, Doctor? You yourself said that you weren't entirely sure. I spent valuable resources on getting those materials for your research, and yet, it's not what you were after? So tell me, Doctor, what was so important that we had to risk almost blowing our cover to get?
I don't know, my lord. All I know from our inside agents is that whatever was in that box, Cord never let a single soul near it. Half of them didn't even know it existed.
I will ask you again. Why was it worth taking such extreme measures?
Cord had been working on something important. If he had gone through such trouble to conceal it, then it must either be something valuable or incredibly dangerous. I thought if we could get access to it, we could turn the tide in our favor. But we can still use the other technology we recovered. I can even make a much more effective breathing apparatus for you. Please, my lord, forgive me.
Very well, but mark my words. If you pull a stunt like this again, you will be the one in need of medical assistance. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, my lord.
Eventually, spring had arrived, and Midoriya could be seen preparing for his very first day of high school.
Do you have everything?
Yes.
Are you certain?
Yes, Kaji, I'm sure. I have all my books, my notepads, a spare uniform. I don't think there's anything I've forgotten.
Very well. Let us begin our journey to UA.
And so they did, eventually ending up outside of a large classroom door. Whoa, that door is huge!
It is most likely made for students of larger sizes. With all of the quirk variety, it would make sense that some may be much larger than the average person.
I guess we should meet our classmates. Midoriya slowly opened the door, only to be greeted by an already chaotic classroom. Sat at one of the desks was none other than Bakugo, who was already in an argument with one of his classmates, a boy with dark blue hair and glasses.
Remove your foot from that desk! Such an action is insulting to those who came to UA before us, as well as the craftsman who made the desk.
However, before the argument could go any further, a much larger boy with short hair walked directly to Midoriya and started to shake his hand, showing no signs of stopping.
Hey, you're the flying guy from the recommendee exam! The name's Inasa Yoarashi. I gotta say, you got some speed. Looking forward to learning alongside you. What's your name anyway?
Izuku Midoriya.
Great to meet you, Izuku Midoriya.
If you're here to socialize, then get out. Laying by the doorway was an unkempt man inside of a yellow sleeping bag, who would then proceed to slowly exit before continuing to lecture the students. This is the hero course. It took 8 seconds for you to quiet down. Time is a precious resource. You lot aren't very rational, are you? Almost the whole class was taken aback by the haggard man's demeanor. I'm your homeroom teacher, Shoda Aizawa. Pleased to meet you. With the formalities out of the way, Aizawa would then proceed to pull out an assortment of gym uniforms from his sleeping bag. Quickly now, change into your gym clothes and head out to the grounds. Little did Midoriya and the rest of 1A know they would be in for quite the school year. This is where we shall leave the story for right now. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and share. It really means a lot to the channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all future uploads. Thank you all and have a great day.